much hair y'all
I saw Beth and Stephanie Ross and some
Oh, children, watch where you walk, where you stand, where you sit. Oh, children, watch where you walk, where you stand, where you sit.
A few blocks from the Arkansas state capitol, in a neighborhood once notorious for gangs, drug wars, and murder, something wonderful is happening. The crime rate has dropped dramatically. Young people are off the streets and in the classroom. Crack houses are being demolished and new businesses are moving in. Day by day, the landscape is changing, physically and emotionally, on and around Martin Luther King Drive, at a small, historically black college that has gone from near bankruptcy to a new birth of promise.
I'm Dr. Fitzgerald Hill, president of Arkansas Baptist College. And every day on this campus, we grow hope.
Watch where you walk, where you stand, where you sit. Be righteous in all your ways.
You gotta keep the fight. You gotta stay together. Stay together.
For much of his adult life, Fitz Hill was a football coach. In the early 2000s at San Jose State, he was one of only 5 black head coaches in Division I college football. That would all change at the end of the 2004 season when, as Fitz says, he didn't win enough games to keep his job.
And trying to make things better for each and every one of them. Remember,
his coaching career over, this veteran of Desert Storm with a doctorate in higher education returned home to Arkansas, still determined to make a difference in the lives of young people, especially African-American males.
We got issues with our young black men. Some people don't want to recognize it. Some people don't want to single it out. We got issues. I'm not scared to address those issues. In fact, I feel like that's a calling on my life, to tell the truth, to address the problem, to do something about it, and not to be passive about the situation. 80% of the 25 most dangerous cities in the United States of America are predominantly African-American, which you have the black-on-black violence trend taking place. That has to be stopped. And in Little Rock, we're on that list.
While Hill felt a strong calling, he was still caught by surprise when offered a job in early 2006 as president of the only historically black Baptist college west of the Mississippi.
I never thought that I would be a college president. I never went to school to be a college president. But as my faith was growing, this became of a divine appointment that I was destined for.
we're going to honor God by our actions, not by what we say, but by what we do. And I want you
Taking
to do the
this
same
job
thing, and I
was a
promise
leap
you,
of
if
faith.
we do those type
The
of
college
things,
was
God will
broke
continue.
and in danger of losing accreditation. The buildings, what few were there, were in pitiful shape, and the enrollment had dwindled to 150 students.
And I had no idea what I was stepping into. In fact, I tell people often that I was very ignorant to thinking I could do this job.
The neighborhood was known by police as the war zone and became legendary in a chilling 1994 HBO documentary, Gang War, hanging in Little Rock.
2 homicides last night drove Little Rock's homicide rate to a new record for the year. At least one is believed to be gang-related. I'm Dave Whitman.
Police say the 2 teens walked into Baker's.
Arkansas Baptist College was founded in 1884, and one of the first missions was to teach former slaves how to read. As the school grew, a vibrant community of professionals and families grew with it in the block surrounding ABC's signature building, Old Main. But over time, as African Americans began to be offered new opportunity outside the neighborhood in a world less segregated by race, the area fell into decline. Crime and violence took over.
When I drove down here in January 2006, I looked over there. I drove around the community, around this campus about 7 times to make sure it wouldn't fall down because it was just that deplorable. And I said, Lord, this is not what you want me. I know that this is not what you prepared me for. And he said, yes, it is. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and told me, he said, my son, if you come to Arkansas Baptist College, my name will be glorified.
Oh, children, watch where you walk, where you stand.
Hill pulled from his football training, changing plays to fit the circumstance. In the beginning, making payroll seemed insurmountable.
The three things that I knew that we had to do was, number one, build a fiscal, responsible financial model. Number two, we're going to have to get reaccredited, or we were going to close. And three, we're going to have to build a new brand of Arkansas Baptist College.
One of Dr. Hill's first recruits was friend Billy Owens, a financial whiz with a national reputation for helping struggling universities turn around their financial woes.
And one day he calls up and said, I really need you to come and help me. Well, when I got here and I found the place and I drove up and I saw what was here, I thought to myself, my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help him. I looked around and I said, this truly takes a vision. And Dr. Hill, man, does he have vision. But he had nothing else to go along with it.
Together, Hill and Owens have become a formidable team. Armed with Hill's vision and evangelical fire, Owens put together a fiscal plan that would get the school back on its feet. And off to the bank they went.
When we get to the bank, the bankers down there looking at us, they looking at us like we're half crazy. Because he was throwing vision. Every time he put some vision out, I'd quote some financial numbers to go along with it, and before long, the bank called and said they'll do the loan.
The accrediting agency also bought into the plan. No probation was assessed, and accreditation was extended for another 5 years. Next, the college started buying up run-down, boarded up, and burned-out houses, restoring the ones worth saving and raising the others for future development.
I'm not certain what happened that people allowed for the blight to just exist in the community. But I knew that that was going to be the first thing that we're going to have to do. There were 26 boarded up homes, 2 blocks north, south, east, west of the campus. And I knew that we had to do something about that blight, because that blight was a perception of the community.
But what we saw was that continually windows were being broken out of it. It was just left here unmanned. You can see the grass and stuff right here unkept. And so I asked the city to go ahead and knock it down so we'd have 2 vacant lots, and hopefully we'll be able to acquire, make this into parking for our new building.
There may be bigger construction projects going on in Little Rock, but this is the greatest miracle. This became the first home that was renovated as a part of ABC's campus. And Fitz was gracious to let this become our office, and we now lease this space from him and from Arkansas Baptist College. As they were painting the front of the house, people were driving up and down the street with their windows down, honking and waving at the guys that were renovating the house. It has brought a new sense of safety and of pride to the people who have lived in this neighborhood for more than 40 years.
You know, it's one thing just to raise a lot of buildings and build new, but to take the existing structures and revitalize them, that brings hope into the area. When other people in the neighborhood that live here, they see the homes being restored, it gives them courage, it gives them value. They feel that they're in a great neighborhood, that it's coming back to life.
That's good. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
As a coach, Fitz Hill would sometimes recruit players from urban areas who could not read, but were pushed through school because of their athletic ability. So at Arkansas Baptist, he championed literacy and GED programs for students not yet ready for college.
Literacy is at the heart of my outreach to underserved communities. When I walked away from coaching, I decided that I want to make a difference through literacy. Well, in fact, that's how I ended up here, is because we created the Delta Classic for Literacy to bring attention and bring awareness to the effects of illiteracy.
What he's done for adult literacy, and I think literacy in general throughout the state, through the Delta Classic for Literacy and through his work here at the college, is to be, he's put his money and his initiative where his mouth is.
So now, when a young man or young woman say, I dropped out, I said, but I still got something for you. And I said, and up on completing your GED, you automatically accepted. Right in Arkansas Baptist College. Really? Yeah, I said, right here on campus. You don't have to go anywhere else. In fact, if you're embarrassed to tell people, just tell them you come to Arkansas Baptist College. You just go to the GED building. Nobody knows the difference.
He's also started a program where nonviolent offenders can go to school through a partnership with Arkansas's Department of Corrections.
When I go to prisons today, I see tremendous potential being incarcerated that just need another approach, another way, another chance. Our approach is to invest in that human capital, create educational access for them that leads to success, which most of the time people don't want to be involved with those students.
Last year, we had a total of about 20 students. And of those 20 students, we do have 2 that are still currently enrolled at Arkansas Baptist College. But we have several that are enrolled at other institutions and succeeding.
Kenneth Bauer was among the first group of 10 students to come to ABC straight from prison.
A lot of us came from drugs, violence, stealing, theft, and now all of us are going to be chemical engineers, psychiatrists. You know, they're all got future great plans, and if it wasn't for Dr. Fitzhill in this college, none of us would have succeeded and we'd all be back in the jail system. So he really changed me and 9 other guys' lives permanently and forever.
On a mission trip to Rwanda, Hill met William Karambizi, a personable but uneducated tour guide, a former soldier with a dream, but with little hope of it ever coming true.
When I was back in Rwanda, I worked as a tour operator. So I happened to meet with this group where there's this man called Dr. Fitzhill. So while I was driving them throughout Rwanda, we became friends. So he finally asked me, what's my dream? I just told him my dream, I would like to go back to school.
And he said, I have no education. I said, I have a program for you. I said, I have a GED program. You know, it was just so amazing that William is now here. He's in our GED program, is excited about his future of being educated here at Historically Black College to go back and be a blessing to other young people in Rwanda.
I got this blessing from God. He opened my mind and I started to see my vision in a different way and to think differently. It's a big miracle, not only to me, also to the people who knows me well back home.
I was very excited, just only to hear that somebody offered me a scholarship, not reading any books, but somebody telling me, like, no, I was very excited in my heart that I couldn't believe this.
Since Hill became president, Arkansas Baptist has raised its annual budget from $1.8 to $16 million. The college has been proactive in securing federal stimulus money and is looking into new ventures to carve out a better future than its recent past. One such effort is a school-sponsored minority-owned coffee brand known as Roots Java. Coffee will be purchased from Rwandan villages to sell in the U.S. Proceeds will be earmarked to rebuild urban communities in need that surround historically black colleges.
That's what Roots Java is about. It's about giving back and be a blessing, locally and globally. Wherever, however, that's what we plan to do. I see Arkansas Baptist College as a way to meet the needs of our society, to meet the needs of our city, to meet the needs of our nation in serving a group of people that oftentimes never get the opportunity or overlook or nobody wants to serve them.
When you make things better for somebody else, you will make things better for yourself. Have a goal to go be a blessing to somebody else. When you do that, you won't have to look for blessings. They will find you.
All together, everyone say Jesus. Jesus. Thank you very much.
There is a spirit of resurrection at this tiny Baptist school in Little Rock. A fundamental belief that what has happened here can happen other places.
This is how you build a young person. This is how you grow economically in your community. That's what we're aiming to be, a national model of how a faith-based institution that addresses the moral values of its community can change the area.
The visionary shepherd who leads this flock, Dr. Fitzgerald Hill, says it's what happens when you bless other people. And when you bless the people, who need blessing the most.
Be righteous in all your